Alright guys, we're putting this max speed rods turbo on this 59 Ford F250. Alright guys, welcome to another F250 video. So, in the last episode, we got the brakes working, we welded in our floor steps, we got the key working, we drove it for the first time under full drivability. It runs, drives, stops. So the reason we wanted to get it done so fast is because the company, Max Speeding Rods, wanted us to test out one of their new GT45 turbos. So my first reaction was like, what the heck am I gonna put a turbo on? The Rambler's not done. The Cadillac we just found and actually gave it to a new home. So the only thing that I had in mind was the F250. So I think it'd be really cool if we put a turbo on the F250. And it kind of made sense because this is a very inexpensive, affordable turbo, but it's a really good entry-level starter to get you boost in your project hot rod at home. You can get one of these GT45 turbos at maxspeedingrods.com and use the promo code RUSTOMOD to get 10% off, and I'll link that down in the description. With this turbo, if you look at the Y-block setup, it has a crossover manifold, so it's actually perfect for a turbo setup. It's funny enough that we're actually going to try to turbo this thing and show you guys how we can do it budget friendly so you guys can do something similar to your project. Alright guys, under the hood look of the F250. So, I know what you're thinking. Why are you going to cut up this first year four-wheel drive Ford? I mean, the 59 was the first year for four-wheel drive, so it's kind of a unique truck and a pretty rare truck. But, hear me out. This truck has a cab that's not original to this truck. The bed we changed, the frame has been heavily modified. The transfer case is different for transfer case, different motor transmission. The grill is probably the only thing that's 59 on this truck. So, I thought this would kind of be the perfect truck to do a full build on. But until we do a full build on, why don't we have some fun with it along the way? So, we happen to have this 292 Y-block with a cross pipe on it, and it's a perfect setup for a turbo. So when Max Speeding Rods reached out, I was like, this could be the perfect setup to do a turbo on it. And it's so funny that we said that when we initially saw this truck at the beginning. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turbo this thing. So since it already has the pipe set up, it's very easy for us to do this. So we're gonna chop this pipe up, install our turbo for very little money, and then see what it will do. Hopefully it'll make some boost and be really fun to drive. Then once we do that, we can go on to the rest of the build with this truck. But I want to have some fun with it before that. So we're going to show you guys how we turbo this thing on a budget, and then you guys can get your turbo with the link in the description. Alright guys, so the first step of our turbo kit is we're going to pull this front exhaust manifold off. So it's probably pretty rusty, so we're going to have to break these nuts loose, pull it out so you guys can see what we're going to do. Check this out, it has a, I guess this is for cold start. It has a valve to block one side of the engine off from the exhaust. It's like an exhaust brake. But it's old, only on half the engine. I don't really know what this is, but I'm glad we found this because if this was stuck closed, that would be bad.
Run 1,000 times better.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. So now I'm gonna pull this out because this would be bad for our turbo setup. Alright guys, we got our pipes cut. Check this out. We're gonna have to remove the coolant hose, but it's literally made for a turbo. It's perfect. It's really sick. Yeah, that's perfect. And we might be able to shut the hood, hopefully. So, now we're gonna have to clamp this side of the exhaust pipe shut, and then tack it all up, weld it up, and we're gonna have to remove the upper radiator hose. I'll probably wrap it around that way, and then should be good to go. All right, we got our certified welder here, and he's gonna just practice welding on this thing here. We have our welding stick.
Wait.
Don't burn hole through.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
It is tacked.
Did it come off?
No.
Sounds good.
That's immense.
He's so nervous, dude.
There's a lot of pressure here.
What?
His whole
We
career.
got a lot of fans that are watching, and I don't want to let them down being a new character. So, gotta bring my A game.
Oh, there's a big gap.
No, if you
Just mind the gap.
just turn.
Fill the gap. I already got it. Fill the gap.
All right. Pop her off. Jake the fabricator got that thing welded up.
Not the
That's
prettiest
pretty-
welds, but it's functional.
Way better than I could have done.
Alright.
Check out this fitment.
Maybe not.
Slips right on. Nice and airtight. Beautiful. This right here is going to be our exhaust.
Yeah.
We're going to route it out the hood straight up the cab.
Yeah, it's
Put a
gonna
little
be.
flapper on it.
That's gonna be our heat.
Yeah.
Warm up the cab. Winter's coming.
Alright guys, we're putting this max speed round turbo on this 59 Ford F250. And it's gonna be awesome. Alright, we're mounting this thing. You gotta
Probably-
see our idea of how this thing is gonna fit now.
Yeah.
We're gonna put this thing right, make a tube, somehow mount it to this. Might have to, I don't know. We haven't figured that part out yet, but it's gonna go in the carb. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a blow-through carburetor on a 2-barrel. Alright, we're just gonna fire it up real quick so we can see what it sounds like. Alright, well we got our turbo kit kind of mocked up. I'm gonna order some pipes for the charge pipes, and then once we do that, we'll hook up the oil lines, and on the next video we should be driving this thing. So if you're gonna want to check out the next video, see the rest of the turbo kit install. Don't forget to go to maxspeedingrods.com and use the code RUSSOMOD to get 10% off your turbo, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next one.